and I would like to invite Tamwab Basti, Abu Bashir, to talk about African intermarriages as a peacemaking, inducement, and developmental orientation.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I'm going to look at African intermarriages as a peacemaking inducement and a developmental orientation. And by definition, marriage, you all know marriage, it entails a union between man and women for the purpose of conjugal association. Now, there are so many types of marriages in the global world, but the most important in Africa was the polygamous marriage. I don't want to go there for today, but the importance of polygamous marriage was that you would have children, and a man was known as a man, and a man is known as a man in Africa because of the many wives that he would marry. And the more women you would marry, the more rich you would be. Why? Because you would have so many children. These children would work in unison, and they would develop the community, they would develop you as a family. Now, marriage was significant because it went beyond procreation and childbearing, but it also was one way of developing the ethos and norms of society. Now, and the more you developed the norms of society, the more you politically grew. There was social organization, and this social organization fueled economic growth in society. In African societies, we have two major types of marriages. That is the in-group marriage, where you marry maybe your uncle's daughter, or you marry from your community, you marry from the same ethnic setup, or you marry from the same religious setup. And then we have the intermarriage. The intermarriage is where you marry somebody, you're a Muslim, and you marry someone who is not a Muslim. You're a Catholic, and you marry someone who is not. Marriage based either on religion, marriage that is not based on religion, marriage that is not based on the same cultural values, the same social norms, or the marriage that is based on different ethnic setups. Now, intermarriage was the most important in the African society. Why? Because it aimed at group solidarity. Secondly, it also engineered social responsibility. That when you marry someone from another religion, it would help you to socially communicate. That was the importance of intermarriages. Then, it also, let's get back. Intermarriages also produced results in African societies because it solidified the society. There was mutual trust, whereby the Christians would trust the Muslims would trust. There is no fighting based on either religion or the like. Then, more importantly, it facilitated peace and wherewithal of ending conflict and violence in society. Now, they were initiated and concluded for various purposes. One, unity of action and celebration of mutuality, extending the frontier of knowledge and broadening the geography of development. Socialization became elastic in the process of intermarriages, as there was to be in place the linkage between two cultures. Like if you follow it up these days, you realize before it is hard, like today, to have a war in Rwanda. Before there was a war where there was mass murders. Why? Because the Tutsis would not marry the Hutus. But with today, they have realized that no, how do we avoid this? Let us intermarry. The Tutsis are marrying the Hutus. So by the time you realize you want to fight, you will find you are killing your own sister, you are killing your own brother. The same thing I was asking the professor about Syria. Can't we bring the same idea on a world context? We get people to begin marrying. And my sister told me that In Israel, it is already there, where the Moroccans, they had different groups and they intermarried, and the society became one. So that is why it was there. It brings unity in diversity. It brings mutual respect. It promotes understanding of diverse cultures with a view to harvesting development in the society. When you look at there are so many examples. The Burundi conflict, it cannot take shape, it will remain the way it is. Why? Because there are intermarriages. You would think that the Rwandese would go and attack in Burundi. They cannot, because there are intermarriages. These people have married one another. When you come to even in England, if we come back to history, during the wars of the Roses, the York Wars, it was resolved by the King of England, then was it Richard III, marrying Elizabeth from Spain, because they felt that was the only way of resolving the conflict. Then when you come to, in Nigeria, the Yoruba Igbo War conflict was also resolved by the intermarriages. In South Africa, so in many societies, I believe intermarriages can be one way of overcoming or promoting peace. Brother Basil? Therefore, in conclusion, the foregoing interpretation and analysis of intermarriages suggests that intermarriages have nipped conflict in the bud and has dissolved or tried to generate destructive violence. It has dissolved conflict that would be coming in society. Secondly, it was also a reality for the in-laws to resolve conflicts between and among spouses, which accelerated dispensation of social justice. When there is intermarriage, you will try to resolve these conflicts within yourselves. And when you resolve these conflicts within, on a family level, they will not erupt into bigger conflict. Therefore, my recommendations are intermarriages can be put in the perspective of diplomatic relations. The other diplomatic cycles can copy it, and they make sure they encourage it. Maybe it would be one way of overcoming the conflicts in the world today. Why? Because it recognizes group harmony and respectability, which are important in peaceful coexistence. Thirdly, they also help in peace building and peacemaking processes. Finally, as I finalize, when you come to Uganda, where I come from, we have a lot of tribes. However, today, it is very hard to get a war. Why? Because people have intermarried one another. If you follow social media, you realize they are saying, even we shouldn't be, the Rwandese and the Ugandans cannot fight because a lot of Ugandans have married from Rwanda. It's Ugandans that gave the Rwandese peace. Why? Because a lot of Rwandese were married in Uganda. This intermarriage, when you look at it in a bigger perspective, it can help to overcome the problems that we have in the world. Because it has already helped in Africa. There are case studies that you can look at, and I believe if the world would copy it and take it up, it would still also help to solve the problems that we have, the conflicts we have in the world. Thank you very much.